Alright guys, let's get into it. I'm going to be going here and rebuilding the 2021 and kind of further out Dallas Mavericks. Basically with the team with Dallas, we have LUKA who a perfect trade that they did make for him for a swap for Trae Young on the third pick back in last year's, or the previous year's NBA draft before this one. Third pick, Dallas Mavericks got LUKA pretty much been an instant all-star and now a superstar in the league. Crazy as can be, we knew he was a European all-star since he was pretty much 16 years of age, going against just older men, playing professional league basketball. And now it's translated beautifully into this new day and age in the NBA, and that's what the direction the Dallas Mavericks have been going into. They made the trade for Porzingis, and the rest is history now. So we'll be jumping into the season. So we got LUKA, which I'm going to run at my shooting guard. I know he can be a combo guard and a point guard. I'm going to put him kind of like in that James Harden flow, so as a shooting guard. I moved Porzingis to the power forward position. I think this is a better selection for him. I'm actually looking to bring in a dominant center. I want to bring Porzingis as a power forward, kind of like to resemble Dirk Nowitzki. I think as a 5, we need a big guy like a DeAndre Jordan. I know he was on the team pretty much last season or the season before this in 2K. And I know he's on the Brooklyn Nets. I want to see if we can make a trade package to where we can bring in that beautiful front court of DeAndre Jordan and Porzingis. Kind of resembles the 2011 Dallas Mavericks in 2015, toward Dirk and Tyson Chandler. We have an abundance amount of shooting guards and point guards. For example, we have Seth Curry. I love how the Mavericks brought him in for a second stint. I think he's perfect on this team to be as our starting point guard. We do have JJ Barea. His contract is expiring. We can probably bring him back. He's a great veteran presence for us. We got Jalen Brunson, who's very young, 23 years of age. He can run that point guard, shooting guard, combo guard type. A lot of potential. Same thing with DeLon Wright. He's 6'5" as a point guard and shooting guard. I'm probably going to let him go because we have an abundance amount of guards, and I don't really need him on my team moving forward. Courtney Lee, I'm going to let go because his contract expired. Tim Hardaway Jr., perfect fit for us, part of that Porzingis Knicks trade. I'm very glad that we brought him on this team. I actually resemble him more as a shooting guard and to a 6-man. I think he plays perfectly that way. I know the Mavericks have started him more of the small forward position, sometimes shooting guard, and he's been amazing at it, but I just think as a championship team, he'd be a perfect 6-man. Dorian Finney-Smith, perfect 3-and-D type player on our team. Justin Jackson may let him go. Same thing with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who's back in the league. Maxi Kleber, perfect fit for this team. Same thing with Dwight Powell. I'm probably going to leave Willie Cauley-Stein and definitely bring in Boban to be on this team for now. So let's jump right into it directly. So I want to bring in DeAndre Jordan when it comes to this team. Definitely keeping the same staff signings of Rick Carlisle, who's been here for over pretty much a decade plus. I don't know why they have him at a DN offense. That's pretty disrespectful. I'm not going to go too much and change things here, but I think you got to put him at least at a B. With 2K, they go kind of crazy on some coaches' ratings. I think a B and then A-, that's fine as it is. I'm not trying to bring any more young cats on this team. The Mavericks pretty much are going to lose in the first round when it comes to the 2020 playoffs, prior to the Los Angeles Clippers. I think this following season, which we're jumping into now, we want to shoot for a second or third round appearance. In real life, the Mavericks will probably get a 4th or 5th seed, depending if they bring another kind of star player, which we're not going to do. I want to build off LUKA and Porzingis as their main offensive threats on this team. So let's see. We have the 29th and the 19th. Let me orchestrate a trade, see if we can bring in DeAndre Jordan, and then we'll jump right into it directly. All right, guys, we're back. So kind of fiddled around, see different trade scenarios. Basically, I had to go to a 3-team trade. I wanted DeAndre Jordan on my team, basically to fill out the front court. So basically, there's a lot of moving pieces here. Let me kind of break it down. So if you're the Dallas Mavericks like us, we're going to give away our first-round pick for next season, DeLon Wright, to Fally Dante, which is our 29th pick in the draft as a center, and one of our second-round draft picks. We're going to give all these away, and the only thing we're going to get in return is DeAndre Jordan, which we wanted for. If you're the Nets, you're giving away DeAndre Jordan, Charles Bassey, Nicholas Claxton, and Taurean Prince's big contract. You're going to give all that away, and if you're the Nets with Kyrie and KD, pretty much you wanted that third scoring option. I know they were trying to go for a Bradley Beal. I think that's unrealistic. But in this scenario, I think a perfect fit for them would be LaMarcus Aldridge. They don't need another guard or forward on their team because you have Kyrie and KD. Pretty much that can give you 55 to 60 a night. I think LaMarcus Aldridge is the perfect third option for a championship contending team. I think, you know, whenever they're bringing it on the half court, they can slow it down. They can feed LaMarcus Aldridge in the post, let alone for, you know, fadeaway jumpers. I think he's perfect to be their starting power forward, and as well as we're giving them Defali Dante, which he can have some minutes, and that pretty much gives an opportunity to where the Nets give away DeAndre Jordan, and Jarrett Allen and LaMarcus Aldridge could be your front court basically. The Spurs are going to be giving Trey Lyles to the Brooklyn Nets as well. So I know they're lacking on a power forward position. You know, we gave them they're going to give them LaMarcus Aldridge and Trey Lyles. Pretty much fills out their power forward positions, which they were lacking. I think this is ideal for the Nets to go forward with. And with the Spurs, they're giving away these. Pretty much we got 11 out of 15 players on our roster already admitted. I made one trade as well, but kind of walk you through it. We're going to jump into free agency, but point guard, we got Seth Curry and Jalen Brunson. We got LUKA and Tim Hardaway Jr. as their shooting guards. Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. Dorian Finney-Smith, we were as a small forward still. Al-Farouq Aminu, I traded Josh Jackson away for him. Al-Farouq Aminu used to be on the Mavericks back in 2015. That was one of his, you know, probably debatably one of his greatest seasons alongside with the Blazers. He really elevated his game. He was a sixth man on that team pretty much. Porzingis, we got our 4, same thing with Maxi Kleber. DeAndre Jordan our 5 with Dwight Powell, and then Boban as a third option there. So let's just work in here, see if we can bring back, let's say, JJ Barea back on this team on a 1-year contract. We can be able to provide that on our bird rights. We're going to need another shooting guard on this team. Let's see who we can find on the low. Probably go for like an Etuan Moore. Kind of looking down someone who's more cheaper coming on this team. May have to bring back Devin Harris. That would be kind of a cool pick as well. But let's see what we jump into here for. All right, our team's all settled. We got our 15-man roster for the Dallas Mavericks. Let's jump right into it. Okay, well, basically, I want to put Seth Curry as my starting point guard, but let's jump into here. So we got Seth Curry, Luka Doncic as our backcourt. I'm loving this. The same thing we did with last season with Rick Carlisle and the crew. Dorian Finney-Smith Jr., perfect 3 on our team. Kristaps Porzingis moved him to the power forward selection. And then now we had DeAndre Jordan, part of that trade. This is a beautiful starting 5 if you think about it. I know Seth Curry and Luka kind of played pretty similar. I know the Mavericks can go another direction if they want to put Luka as their starting point guard and pretty much have like Tim Hardaway Jr. as their shooting guard or like another 3-and-D player. I'm just going to roll with this since we have Seth Curry, and I'll probably make some changes if so. We got Jalen Brunson off our bench with Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber, Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh, sheesh. We brought in Brian Forbes because we had the money. Boban's still back on our team. Al-Farouq Aminu, Myers Leonard we brought in. JJ Barea, and then Jonathan Simmons, very underrated. I think he can kind of resemble kind of like a back in 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks, Deshaun Stevenson, who was on their team, who was their starting shooting guard, number 92 on the team. I think Jonathan Simmons can kind of be like that later on in his career, but dude's stud wheels with the Spurs. So I'm loving our team as it is. I think we can, based on NBA 2K, the team we have, I think we can win the championship. Realistically, when it comes down to it, I think if this team were as it was, the Mavericks would definitely be a second-round exit, maybe a conference finals. The West is really stacked because you have the Warriors coming back, you have the Clippers with the Lakers as well, and the Rockets will always be in the mix. So, you know, with Luka being so young with KP, may have to take 3 to 4 years when LeBron retires. Maybe the Clippers break up or something, but let's see what happens here in NBA 2K. I'm expecting probably a championship this season with 2K standards. But besides that, hey, let's go in and jump into the playoffs. All right, guys, we finished a record of 54-28. Luka Doncic was hurt around 2 to 4 weeks, so he probably would have had 60 wins and plus. But I mean, it is what it is. I think we probably finished around the 2nd or 3rd seed. Let's see what it says here. Luka Doncic is now okay. So cool. We're a number 1 seed. Everything looks pretty good as it is for us to go off in the championship, probably against the Milwaukee Bucks. I doubt that there's any injuries. Looks like Kristaps Porzingis is going to be injured. Let's see how long he's going to be out for. Same thing with Dorian Smith Jr. Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't know why I keep on saying Jr. It's like second nature. So he's neck to neck, day to day here. Kristaps is out 6 to 8 weeks. If we make the finals, probably he can come back for a Game 6 or Game 7. So we may have to look into next season, most likely. But the team is stated as it is. We have LUKA, so that's pretty much all that matters here. So let's start simulating and see what happens with us. I think without KP, we can at least make the conference finals. Probably even win the championship because he's that good in this game. He's a 99 overall. Surprised he didn't win most valuable player, but it's cool as it is. So we're going against the Los Angeles Clippers. This could probably be a hiccup in the series. Maybe go game 6 or game 7. We are tied as of right now, and we are down 2-3. All right, let's simulate the simcast and see if we can be able to force a game 7 back on our home court against the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, so we lose in the second round. So I'm pretty confident for the following season that we can be able to have everyone healthy, pretty much keep the same team, same foundation as it is, with these guys here. So the Brooklyn Nets and the Denver Nuggets are going at it, and congrats to Kevin Durant and the crew. They should be able to win the championship. All right, they did in Game 7. Realistically, with the Dallas Mavericks, I expect them in their 4th or 5th season with LUKA to pretty much be title contenders of, actually making the finals. But let's see if we can be able to rack a championship this last season of ours right here. So I'll jump into next season, see if there's any changes, and go at it. All right, our last season coming up here, guys. Pretty much the same team as we brought in. I wanted to keep it the same direction. It's pretty much our foundation is pretty much good as it is, as this team needs to grow realistically. So we got Seth Curry back again here, same starting 5 as it is. I think this is perfect with their length and skill offensively and defensively as well. Anchoring with DeAndre Jordan and Dorian Finney-Smith, who don't really need the ball in their hands. Jalen Brunson still on the team. Dwight Powell, Tim Hardaway Jr. we re-signed. Maxi Kleber. We did bring in Ricky Rubio based on a trade. I'm actually going to put him as my starting point guard slot when it comes down to here. So Rubio and Luka Doncic would play together. I think this is going to be a crazy starting 5 when it comes down to it. And when it comes down to Ricky Rubio, he's got a championship, point guard written all over him. I could see it in real life. We brought back Brian Forbes as well, Jonathan Simmons, and then DJ Augustine as another point guard on this team. But I'll change up the lineup a little bit here, kind of allocating more minutes. I think this team is ready to win a championship based on 2K. In real life, this would be a Western Conference Finals contender here, but I'm excited about this team. I love how it flows together. I know Rubio and Doncic kind of play alike. I'm not going to put Rubio off the bench because he's around 30 years of age, and he's pretty much a starting point guard to be on a championship contending team if it's the right fit. I think it is how it is here. This team's going to be crazy on offense, so let's jump into the playoffs. All right, last season, let's see how we finish up here in the playoffs. A record of 51-31. This was a downgrade from last season. There wasn't really any injuries that I could really see taking place within here. I was looking free agency kind of to bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo, but in real life, I don't think he'll choose the Mavericks. I think it's a good destination though, but you have LUKA and KP to handle the offense as a 1-2 punch. So Giannis actually re-signed with the Bucks when it comes down to here. So that is what it is. We actually landed off, I think, with the 3rd seed, so the 4th seed. Minnesota Timberwolves actually kicked it off. So we're going against the Portland Trailblazers. I don't think there's any injuries as it is. And we got Kristaps Porzingis injured once again. But it's for 1 to 2 weeks. Man, that's crazy. This guy, I hope in real life that he doesn't get injury prone like that. But let's see if we can make it to the 2nd round or 3rd and bring back Kristaps Porzingis on the team. We do have Luka Doncic at a 99 leading the way. So we should have KP back in the 2nd round whenever he is all healthy when it comes here. So we're going against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's see what's on the team right now. Let's see who they got. I'm really curious. They got D'Angelo Russell with Karl Anthony Towns. And then a bunch of their young cats. They got Marc Gasol. Okay, so they're kicking off, which is cool. Is KP back on the team? Okay, so now we got our starting 5. I think this right here, we can be able to take them down. It may have to be a 6 or 7 game series because the Minnesota Timberwolves are kind of kicking off really strong in the 2022 season. Let's see if we can be able to force a game 7 when it comes down to here. All right, game 6, we are in American Airlines Center here with the Dallas Mavericks, and we're actually going to lose once again in the 2nd round to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So basically this rebuild challenge, I mean, we didn't win the championship, but kind of wanted to really do this to kind of show you guys how I wanted to play out the Mavericks and how they could be able to pretty much just pick it up as themselves. So it looks like the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis, who re-signed, it was a good case because they won the championship. So kudos to him. The Mavericks have a bright future ahead of them, realistically. They need to keep LUKA and KP together. I would like for them to bring in a starting 5. They were looking at Clint Capella, but he got traded to the Hawks. If they can bring in DeAndre Jordan back on the team, I think that'll be perfect. Keep Dorian Finney at the small forward selection. And then point guard, you can really run LUKA at the 1, and at the 2, you can have Tim Hardaway Jr., or you can have Tim Hardaway Jr. as a 6th man, put LUKA at the 2, then at the 1, probably like Seth Curry. We couldn't win a championship these 2 seasons due to Kristaps Porzingis' injury the first season, and then this one we just couldn't win. But hey, it was a fun rebuild challenge, and let's see how we can kick it off next time.